Ervits assessment. All right, guys, we're back. I'm going to do a quick recap for you on Magny versus Chiesa, which happened on Wednesday, and then which just happened a couple days ago, UFC 257. Dustin Poirier against Conor McGregor. All right, and there's going to be no fights this weekend, so we're going to just do a recap of those fights, and I'll see you guys the week after that. All right, but as always, remember, Ervits assessment, if you could like, comment, subscribe, and share, that would be awesome as always. And remember, next to that subscribe button is a bell. Hit that bell so you can get notifications when a new video is up. All right, so the first fight I'm going over is Warlley Alves against Munir Lazzez. Now remember, Lazzez had a lot of hype behind him. He was undefeated. While Warlley Alves, people were saying he wasn't living up to his potential. He had some promise and stuff. So, he heard all that, and he even said it in the pre-fight that he took that really personal. Boy, let me tell you, he sure did. As soon as the bell rang, he was just in Munir's face, just hitting him, kicking him, and basically what he did was he hit Lazzez with 3 vicious body kicks, and Lazzez folds onto the floor, and Alves just gets on top and starts hitting with punches. Ref stops the fight. Easy victory for Alves. I mean, he could probably fight in a month or two because he took no damage whatsoever. For Lazzez, he's going to have to go to the drawing board there. I mean, that was pretty bad because he basically showed people, hey, all you got to do is pressure him, and he kind of just folds. He had no answer for it. So let's see, and we'll see what happens with Alves. I mean, maybe he can, get back to the potential that he once had, and he's still young enough to do it. So we'll see what happens there. And the main event, remember, it was Michael Chiesa against Neil Magny. This was in the welterweight division. So Magny was the favorite, but he did not look good. Chiesa was just taking him down at will, pressuring him, hitting him with punches, going for submissions. Now, Magny's a tough out, and he just couldn't get Magny, he just couldn't take Magny out. In the 4th round, Magny had a little bit of success with striking, but again, Chiesa just took him down and just had position the entire time. Magny really didn't have an answer for any of it. So Chiesa wins that one easily, unanimous decision. He's on a 4-fight winning streak now. I think he deserves a guy in the top 5 now. I mean, especially even though he was higher ranked, he was an underdog. People were still picking Magny to win, and he won that fight pretty easily. Top 5 guy for sure. I mean, I don't know. He called out Colby Covington. That would be fantastic. I'd love to see that. But Covington should get Masvidal. That's what I think, because if that's the fight we want to see. But if Masvidal doesn't want to take it, I'm cool with that. Chiesa versus Covington. Winner of Usman versus Burns. So that was those 2 fights there. All right, and then on Saturday we had UFC 257. All right. Now remember, I went over 5 fights. 1 got canceled. I'll get to that when it was in the position that it was supposed to be. Basically, yeah, we'll get into it. All right. So the first fight was Amanda Ribas against Marina Rodriguez. Now remember, everybody was picking Amanda Ribas to win this fight. She had a lot of hype going behind her, and she's looked good in her last few fights. Well, let me tell you, not this time. But in the first round, she actually did pretty well. She took Rodriguez down, held her there, really did some work, but Marina wasn't really in danger too much or anything. Well, the round's over, 2nd round. Rodriguez was like, you know what, I'm keeping this fight standing. And she rocked Ribas with a vicious hook. Boom, dropped her. You can see Ribas just folded. She gets on top of her, starts hitting with punches. Herb Dean went in, and then he didn't touch him, but he kind of looked like he did. Rodriguez was like, all right, fight's over. Popped up, started walking away, and Herb Dean's like, no, I didn't say the fight was over. So she's like, okay, fine, whatever. Boom. She starts hitting Rodriguez again. Ribas again, and Ribas, you can see she's just completely shaky. She ate like 3 more shots, and Herb Dean was just like, all right, it's done. Fight is over there. That was a great performance by Rodriguez. I mean, has some really good stand-up. For Ribas, she's got to work on her stand-up. I mean, she's good on the ground. She's good at that, but she needs to work on her striking because she was getting lit up, and she got rocked bad by Rodriguez. So, Rodriguez, I don't know. Let's see. Maybe a top 5 top 5 fighter. I mean, she did lose to Esparza, but, you know, top 5 woman would be great to see. So we'll see what happens there. All right. So then the next fighter. So remember, originally I was supposed to go over, and I'll get into what happened here. It was supposed to be Matt Favola against Otman Iztar. Okay, so I get a notification that pops up on my phone on Friday, so the day before the fight, that Otman Iztar is cut from the UFC. I'm like, what? So basically what happened, Dana White went into it. His team cut off their bracelets because, you know, they're in the bubble and everything because of COVID, and they're in Abu Dhabi. They cut off their wristbands to let some person from the inside or outside, I don't know, from his team, who knows who he was, nobody's really said anything. I mean, he needed a bag. Nobody knows what was in the bag. So they snuck the guy in by giving him the wristbands. Well, when Dana White found out, he told him, not only are you not fighting tomorrow, you're cut from the UFC. Get out of here. So that was it. Bonehead of the year. I mean, I know the year just started, but I don't know if anybody's going to be doing anything stupider than that this year in 2021. I mean, what a bonehead move. You're representing Morocco. You're undefeated. You have tremendous upside. You got so much potential. And then you get fired because you did something completely stupid. What was in that bag that you really needed? Dumb move. All right, so Favola ended up fighting on the undercard. You know, he lost anyways, but so that was that. So that fight didn't happen. So the next fight that I remember I had went over was Joanne Calderwood against Jessica Eye. Now, I did pretty decent in the beginning. You know, it was actually a pretty good fight. They both were standing trading. In the clinch, Calderwood was just hitting Eye with knees and elbows and stuff, while, you know, when they were separated, Eye was doing a little bit better. But in the second and third round, you could see Calderwood just started taking advantage, hitting Eye with just brutal shots, and just, you know, hitting her at will, really. Eye really didn't have an answer for it. She tried to take her down, it didn't work. Calderwood stuffed those takedowns, and Calderwood just had her way, and she won a decision there. Now, remember, she had the title shot before she lost it. There's really not that many contenders in that division because Valentina's just run through everybody. We'll see. Maybe she'll fight Lauren Murphy, and the winner of that fight will fight Valentina. I'm not sure. Dana hasn't really said anything, so we'll see what happens there. All right. The co-main event was in the lightweight division. It was number 6 Dan Hooker against newcomer Michael Chandler. Now, Hooker was talking a lot of crap before the fight, saying he was going to destroy the UFC's new toy because, you know, Chandler had just come from Bellator. He was a big money signing. You know, he had a lot of potential and hype around him, but a lot of people were picking against it because typically you don't see these guys that come from one, like Eddie Alvarez, Ben Askren, though Askren did win in his debut, really fare well in the beginning. So let me tell you, this was a great fight for Chandler. So in the beginning, Chandler is just, you know, they're standing trading, and Hooker is just backing up. Not typical of him, but he was backing up. And Chandler's just hitting him with body shots. So they're just circling the cage, and he threw a punch, and you could see it was a hook, and you could see Hooker thought it was going to the body. Boom, up top. Boom, drops Hooker. He gets on top of Hooker, starts pounding him. Ref finally just stops it, waves it out, says, fight's over. What a performance. What a debut by Michael Chandler. And then he went full Ric Flair. Which would happen if you're not familiar with it. Go look it up. 1992 Royal Rumble. Ric Flair basically called out everybody. This is what Michael Chandler did. He took a page out of Ric Flair's book. He called out all the big guys. Poirier, McGregor, who else did he call? Gaethje. He called them all out. I'm excited to see what Chandler can do. I mean, he folded number 6. I don't want to hear anybody with excuses for Hooker. He destroyed him. And Hooker is not an easy guy to put out. Remember, Poirier went to 5-round war with him and couldn't finish him. Chandler finished him like that. Impressive. I can't wait to see Chandler back in there and see what he can do. I'll be rooting for that guy. And in the main event, you had the lightweight division former interim lightweight champ Dustin Poirier against former 2 division champ Conor McGregor. Now, this fight was good. Now remember, I messed up here. I said I thought Conor was going to win by knockout. Well, I got the knockout part right, but I didn't get the right person. So, you know, the first round, you know, they're throwing punches, both of them, and you can see when Conor's hitting Poirier, he's kind of shrugging it off, like, whatever, you're not really doing anything. They got in the clinch, and it was a smart move by Poirier because, with the clinch, he's just putting a lot of pressure on Conor's arms, and that's what Conor's known for with there. And what Dustin did was very smart, and Conor, I don't know why he didn't check these or anything. He kept getting hit in the leg. So, first round, but like I said, he did land some good punches on Dustin. In the second round, Poirier went right back to it again, hitting him with leg kicks. McGregor just was not checking, and you could see his calf was just brutally swollen. And then he hit him with maybe like a third or fourth one, and you could see just Conor kind of buckled. So you were like, all right, the end is very near. And let me tell you, he tried to hit Dustin with some shots, couldn't. Dustin just hits him with some beautiful right hands. Boom, stuns Conor. Boom, hits him, drops him, gets on top of him, some ground and pound. Fight over. Dustin Poirier gets his revenge from 6 years ago and destroys Conor McGregor. What a performance by Dustin Poirier. I doubted him. I didn't think he was going to do it, and he did. So now the question is, what is next? Well, Khabib said that he wasn't really impressed. He says, I'm levels better than everybody. I think they should just leave him alone. Let him be with his family. If he decides to come back, maybe in a couple years, fine. Just leave him be. Take his title. He doesn't want to fight. Take it. Dana said he wants Dustin Poirier against Michael Chandler. I disagree with that. I think Chandler should fight one more person. Maybe like Gaethje, even though he's coming off of a loss. Ferguson's coming off of a loss also, so is McGregor. So really, the only person left for him to fight would be Oliveira, but I think it should be Dustin Poirier against Oliveira for that belt. I think that would be an epic matchup. Remember, Oliveira's on an 8-fight winning streak. Poirier's just basically run through everybody. He beat Gaethje. He beat Conor. The only person he really lost to is Khabib. So I'd like to see him get that. And against Oliveira. If they give it to Chandler, I'm cool with that too. I'll be rooting for Chandler. Hopefully he gets that done. So yeah. So that's that, y'all. Again, remember, if you could like, comment, subscribe, and share, and hit that little bell icon so you get notifications. This is the Ervits assessment. All right, I'll see you guys in a week.